Hey everyone, we are live on the Overland podcast. My name is Joey, the Brofessor, along with some good friends of mine that I haven't seen in several months, and y'all are pretty good ways away. But technology has made it where we can sit face to face, and I absolutely love that. Y'all are, and I asked Deb before the show if she knew where he was, and she didn't know. I thought that's great.
Didn't
That's the way to do
She
it,
I
right?
said
she even got the state
Arizona?
wrong. You know.
Yeah, I mean she's just riding over there today, and we're making our way back from Utah. So I guess we're about as far west from you as we typically are east.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Last time I had you on the show, you were about this far east. You were in, I think you said North Carolina, Eastern Tennessee, somewhere over there,
well,
sitting in the
Deb and I had
rain.
that discussion. We were in one of the Carolinas, but I don't
Yeah.
remember which one.
Yeah, well, that's really cool. Well, it's good to see y'all. It's been, I guess, since Overland of America, since we
Yeah,
saw you,
yeah,
and got to visit with you a little bit there. Y'all were there with the Teton X trailer people, and we got to go to your meet and greet and sit
Mhm.
around and see that and see your new wrap on the Jeep right after you got it. It looked amazing. Looks so good.
yeah. It's
Thank you.
that was one of the highlights of the year was getting
Mhm.
that wrap on there. And hey, Jake and Lena, seen your message pop up there. We miss you guys too. Can't wait to see y'all soon.
Yeah, sure thing. Well, y'all have been out in Utah on your way home. What's been going on in Utah? What you been up to there?
So, we've been in Utah a couple of times over the winter, um, and our trips to Utah has kind of changed. Well, they're changing our life. I'll just put it that way.
Hmm.
Um, we've got a pretty big announcement, a pretty big change coming for Deb and I both, and a little bit of a change for the channel, but not really a whole lot. The biggest thing is uh, our service in emergency services. My days as a flight paramedic full time is coming to an end, and Deb is
Hmm.
going to hang her headset up as well. Um, we have found a trailer that is built to withstand anything we can throw at it,
Hmm.
and it has every amenity we could ever dream of. To take that a step further, the people who build these trailers and own Atlas Outdoors, Kim, Steve, and Ricky, are incredible people, and we knew that that was the people that we could see working out a long term relationship with.
Hmm.
So those conversations turned into full time jobs for Deb and I both. Effective March, we're going to be doing sales, marketing, and R&D for Atlas Outdoors.
That is incredible. That's
Yes,
incredible. That's
yeah, we're so
and
excited.
Exciting.
we talked about this when we were at Overland of America. We talked about this because you and I both, all three of us, are in public service, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like to talk to people who have been in it for a while and say, "How much longer you got? How much longer you got?" Because I need to compare to see if what I've got compares to what you've got. And we
yeah,
just talked about that, and you said, "Oh, I'll be working a while. I'll be working a while." And
yeah.
this is big turnaround in just a few months.
It was yeah. It just happened. I mean, this was nothing that we planned. It really wasn't anything that they had planned either. Um, there was a strange turn of events where we had broken an axle uh, on our way to
Mhm.
drop the trailer, the Teton, back off to them in November before SEMA, and the axle just happened to break in St. George. Well,
Hmm.
they came out, helped us, got the truck and the trailer off the road, got us all fixed up, and we ended up spending an extra day or so with them. And that's when the conversation kind of started. We ended up going to SEMA, hit the Mojave Road for a few days, and then on the way back through, stopped to talk to them again. And by the time we left that time, we had uh, we had pretty much inked the deal for all of us. It was a go.
Wow, that's incredible, and that's good to run into people and actually meet people and work with people that you like, you can trust, and are actually good people. That makes a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah, and this is, they're incredible people. They're trying to be as innovative as they can. When it comes to this trailer, they had some ideas for 25, and then of course being in it and spending time in it, um, we had some ideas too.
Mm,
And one of the reason we went out to Utah this week was to pick up the new trailer for 2025.
mm,
And this thing is the cat's meow. It has every option that we thought of that or upgrade that we thought could make it a better trailer, and then they added some of their own.
mm.
So you've seen the 2024, and and it was, I mean, it was an incredible trailer then, but the thing they've added now is just crazy.
Mm.
So I can't wait for everybody to see it.
Well, I'm glad that they actually visit and listen to people who actually get out and use it. There's a lot of trailers out there that you can tell that people that make them don't use them, and
Right.
the things that they have, they're you can tell that they're not overlanders,
Yeah.
and that's good that they listen to your input and put it into practice.
Yeah.
That's all.
And um, they're from North Dakota.
Mm.
They bought into the business and then ended up buying the whole thing. And heard Ricky say it this weekend. He said, we're right now, we're not avid overlanders, but
Mm.
we love to build things.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys love to use it. So the perfect combination is you use it.
Mm.
As a matter of fact, another big announcement is we have taken all of the things that we've learned over the last few years in multiple trailers, and it will be debuted in one of the earlier shows this year.
Oh wow.
So
Huh.
we're excited for the little bit smaller Appalachian X instead of the Teton
Appalachian X.
X.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Or
cool.
I might say in addition to the Teton X. So that barking in the background, that's Aspen. I'll
Yeah.
I'll give you a little tour here. Say hi, Aspen.
Uh, Aspen is not exactly excited about the crackling ice that y'all have going on in the lake behind you.
No, every time it pops, he barks.
Yeah, we're sitting beside a reservoir in Colorado at a little over 8,000 feet, and it's frozen. But if you walk outside the camper, you can actually hear it freezing.
Wow.
So it's pretty eerie, and he's not a fan of it.
Well, that's cool.
So
Well, I know
I've
you're.
seen somebody ask their
Yeah, right there.
So we had the track T van, and that was just a trailer that X Grid wanted us to pull and spend some time in and give them some exposure to try to sell those. I think they may still have one or two left there between Knoxville and Vegas, but uh, we spent some time in it and then moved on to a different model.
Yeah, I
But that was
saw.
the really cool thing about it. The arrangement we had with X Grid was. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, I was just saying. I could tell after you started pulling the trailer. Once you moved on from living actually in your Jeep and you started pulling a trailer, you actually tried out several different trailers before you landed with the one you've got.
Yeah, and really it wasn't a plan to land with one particular one or the other. The arrangement was that um, we would pull trailers and use them on the channel for X Grid in exchange for them getting
Mm.
exposure and
And
showing
feedback.
people and feedback, showing people what trailers they had, and then getting feedback of if there was any things that needed improvement or what we really liked or didn't like about them. So that was really neat for us to be able to have the chance to explore multiple different trailers and then figure out what we really liked and what we didn't, rather than just walking through one at a show and hoping that we liked it when we bought it.
Now, how did your life change from, say, living in, inside the Jeep or on top of the Jeep, rooftop tent or whatever, to actually pulling a trailer? How did your overlanding life change moving into a trailer?
Deb, I'll let you answer that one.
It's nice. It's warm.
It's warm. It's nice. It's cool with the air conditioner. Setup time is minimal, and you can pull up and in literally just a couple minutes you can pop the top on this thing and you're set up. It's got airbags for leveling, so
Mm,
we don't even have to stack rocks.
yeah.
Um, and what we found over the last few years is the majority of places that we go are not so difficult that we can't pull a trailer with us.
Mm,
And if there are places that we want to go that we need to unhook, then we can just set up base camp
right.
and go out and explore and then come back to base camp.
Do you enjoy base camping like that?
We've done it a few times, and I think
We
we're
haven't
going to
done it
enjoy
much.
it more
Mm,
now that we've got time to do it. But that was the rush before, was when we did have time off. It was just like everybody else. You were running and pushing as hard as you could push just to make sure that you seen everything you could possibly see. You
mm,
didn't want to have any downtime because you were afraid you were going to miss something.
right.
So I think we'll do more of that in the future.
Well, the trailer that you've got is really nice in the fact that you've got room to move around. You can stand up in it, sleep in it, do a lot of things in it, so you can actually get out of the weather and function instead of just having a place to sleep.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of the things that we really liked about this camper was the fact that in bad weather, there's enough room. You can sit four people very comfortably in here.
Mm,
A nice Laguna table, and you can sit here with a induction stovetop
mm.
and cook a meal or whatever. You got plenty of room. So that's one of the biggest things that we liked about
Mhm.
this one.
So that trailer that you've got a kitchen inside and outside.
So this one has it has a sink inside, it has a sink outside,
Hmm.
has a full propane kitchen outside, but it also we have a portable induction stove that we can set it right here.
Hmm.
I just knocked my drink over. We can set it right here and and fix coffee when it's 30 degrees outside like we did this morning
Yeah.
and not have to go out and freeze ourselves to death.
Wow, that's cool. Somebody asked, "Will you be at the Southeast Overland Expo in Florida next month?"
Yes, we will be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
How
good.
many games? I mean, not anyone.
Well, one of the things we talked about before the show came on was your gladiators right now in the shop. Anybody who follows you know the big story that's going on with that, and you having to pull the trailer has really taken a toll on your motor, your gas mileage, and all that. But you are having some major upgrades done to the Gladiator. Tell us what's going on with that.
So, over the last few years, we started with pulling January of 2022 with that truck, and from that time till now, it had 120,000 miles on it.
Mm,
Hey, Arla, how you doing? Hope Tony's doing better. So, we decided this year that it was going to be time to maybe do something. We were getting ready to go full time, and we wanted to have some reliability. I
mm,
initially had talked about maybe buying another Gladiator, especially when they teased it putting the Hurricane motor in them.
mm,
So after that, they really didn't know when they were going to do it, and we're getting at best 8.2 miles to a gallon when we're pulling. We're only getting just over 11 when it's empty. So it was time to make a change. The
mm,
thought was whether we buy a new one and then we've got another payment, another insurance, and we're not
mm,
going to get rid of that orange one. That thing is built exactly the way we want it.
mm,
So we were going to have two payments at that point, and one of them was just going to have to sit at home.
mm,
So a friend of ours, Matt and Don, we were all sitting around a campfire, and Matt and I just started joking about, well, we ought to just put an AMW Hemi in it. And then we've got the perfect vehicle. Deb slept on it that night. The next morning over coffee, she's sitting there. She says, maybe you ought to do that. Check on the price. And if it's half price of what it would take to buy and build a new Gladiator, why don't you just do that? That was Sunday morning. At Monday morning, I ordered it.
You
So
didn't give me a chance to change my mind.
Hey, you know us men. You give us a little bit, and
Right?
we're not going to let go of that rope. We're
all
not
I
going to let
heard
go
was
of that rope.
yes, and it was on.
Now, Bill, I'm not a Jeep guy. You know,
Okay.
I've never owned one, never had one. So when you talk about an AMW Hemi, tell me what that means, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so America's Most Wanted 4x4 is located just outside of Detroit, Michigan, Holly. And they have partnered with Mopar, with Jeep, to build high performance Jeep Gladiators and Wranglers. All of the parts, everything, the engines are crate engines straight from Mopar. It's all factory stuff. When you have one of their conversions done, not only do you get all new parts, but you get a new warranty to go with it. So
Wow.
this project, their projects are engine, radiator, all the front accessories, all the computers, new wiring harness, transmission, transfer case, drive shafts, headers, stainless steel exhaust.
Wow.
And then when we leave, we'll have another 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on a powertrain that is a Mopar powertrain, and Jeep dealerships will honor that warranty.
Wow.
And
So are they a part of Jeep? Are they licensed by Jeep, or
they are
how does that
licensed
work?
by Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah, they are licensed by Jeep.
Man, so you're going to be doing a whole bunch of sound videos next to your exhaust.
There will be
I see it now. I see it now.
Yeah, there will be a lot of sound bites, I'm sure.
Because there's nothing that sounds better than a Hemi. And you know, and when it comes
nothing
out of
better.
a Jeep, it's I don't know, it's just a little bit cooler when it comes out of a Jeep, because I don't know. It's
It's one of those things. It's not supposed to be there, but it is.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that's so neat. So how is that going to change power wise, fuel wise, all that stuff for you in the future pulling that trailer?
So what they're telling us, as of right now, the best we drove it up there to drop it off, and it was completely empty. We had taken everything out of it. The only thing it had on the outside was the roof rack, and we got 11.3 miles to a gallon.
Hmm.
What they're telling us is based on the way the engine package that we picked, the 505. So we picked the more modest of the Hemis, I guess you'd say. But they're saying that we should expect between 15 and 18 miles to a gallon while we're empty and not pulling anything. And then when we tow, and I told them, weights and all of that,
Mm-hmm.
they're expecting we should be between 12 and 15 miles to a gallon while we're towing. So that's already better than we're empty.
That's doubling your mileage almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, so it should. Well, yeah, and a lot of people say, well, you're going to have to buy premium fuel. Yeah, that's true, but I still think that the miles per gallon is going to offset the
Mm-hmm.
difference in the fuel cost.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, having that much power, it's going to be that much more enjoyable, especially going out west where the land's not flat, and
Right.
you'll be actually able to pull some hills without wondering if you ever get to the top, or the little engine that could,
Yeah,
trying to make it to the top. So
yeah. Or watching the temperature gauges climb and hope that they don't get to their top before you get to the top of the mountain.
no kidding. My
Yeah.
goodness. Well, that is that's so exciting. You have got a lot of exciting things that are happening, and if you just joined us, if you come in late, we Bill just knocked us off our seats right off the bat within the first 5 minutes. So if you missed that, he and Deb are both retiring from public service. So you're going to keep your certifications, but
Mhm.
y'all are going full time with Atlas Outdoors.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
That is incredible. Incredible. Well, normally I have people come on here and introduce themselves, but everybody knows y'all. And so I didn't want to say that, but you both usually hit the ground running. And when this summer, when my wife and I were about to take off up into the Northeast, your videos are the ones that I pulled up, and I said, you got to watch Bill and Deb. They went up into the Northeast, they went up into Maine, they did all this stuff, overlanding. We got to watch where they went. And my wife said, "Who is that? I love his voice. I love his voice. It's the most calming, soothing voice I've ever heard." And she said, "We got to watch all their videos." I was like, "Okay, well, I've already seen them once. We'll watch them again." Uh, but y'all hit the ground running now, and you have done a lot. You have done a lot of the Trans-America Trail. How was that? How was the Trans-America Trail?
Trans-America Trail has been very interesting. We've only hit a few pieces of it. We did Virginia, North Carolina, into Tennessee, through the eastern part of Tennessee and into Georgia. We probably picked the worst time to go through the North Carolina section of any time that you could do it, because we done it this just late fall, right after Helene. So, but what I wanted to do with that video was not just explore the Trans-American Trail. We've heard a lot of people talk about how devastated that area is, and it absolutely is.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of places down there that are still open for business,
Mm-hmm.
and the general idea. Sorry, Deb's having to
That's
move
all
and
right.
find a dog. The general idea down there is everybody needs to stay out of North Carolina, because nothing's open. When
Mm-hmm.
it's actually opposite. There are a lot of places that are still open and are still begging for tourism.
Oh yeah.
If not, they're going to be just as broke as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of one of the reasons we wanted to go do that. We wanted to make sure that we stayed out of everybody's way as far as where the destruction was, but we also wanted to show that there was opportunities to go there, spend some money, and maybe help in another way.
Recently, you've been on the Mojave Road. Tell us about that.
Mojave Road was different. That was the first time Deb and I had ever really been to California. So to be able to follow that old road and the history that goes along with it through the desert was really cool. So I just see a guy popped up here on the screen, Joey. That's my partner on the helicopter.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
I,
Sam
I
says
paid
they'll be.
him big money to say that. So
Yeah, he says they'll be
thank you,
missed in
Sam.
public service. Bill's one of the best flight medics to ever do it, and both of them are some finest people. Yes, totally agree.
Now,
Totally agree
now
with that.
you're Jody. Do you remember Sam? He's the guy that was just right.
Just right.
It more.
Remember
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah.
just right.
That's awesome. Well, I've heard a lot about the Mojave Road. I haven't seen it, and also we had some people on here ask when they expected the Jeep to be done, and you said within the next week or so, right?
So yeah, we heard it run today. They sent us a video clip of it starting today. Um, there's a difference in America's Most Wanted has several different installers throughout the United States. And through my research, what I found was they'll tell you it takes about 4 weeks to do it. And they get it in, get it running. And I'm sure they do some testing. But AMW, when I called those guys up there, they said, well, we're going to keep it for 6 weeks. And I said, "Well, wait a minute. You all are the originators of this. You know it. You know it better than anybody. Why do you keep it for 2 weeks longer than everybody else?" He said, "Because we're going to drive it, and we're going to drive it for probably 500 miles. And when you come back up to Holly to pick it up, you can drive it to Mexico if you want to, because we know it's going to be right." And I could have taken it to Cincinnati. I could have taken it to North Carolina and had it done, but I wanted to take it to the guys who knew 100% what they were doing with it, and I had a true guarantee it was going to be. So that's what we did. Yeah.
Well, now we know
But it'll
what.
be it should be ready. It
Mm,
started today. They'll button everything back up, and we should go pick it up late next week, early the week following. So it will be at Save, and yes, it will be at the Jasper Jeep Jam.
I'm sure that's why they were getting to that.
Uh,
Well, well, now we know what the best job in the world is driving a Jeep after a Hemi's just been put in it. So you know,
yeah,
yeah, whoever has that job, they've got a good job. They've
yes,
got a
yes,
good
they
job.
do. Yeah,
Semper Gummick says, "Thank you for all your services, first responders." I appreciate that.
thank
Pretty
you,
cool.
Ben, and
Yeah,
congratulations on your recent move too.
yeah.
Ben's now the part of the full timers as he retired from public service as well.
Saw that, and he made a good video on that too.
Yes, he did.
That was good. So y'all are coming back from Utah. How was this trip to Utah?
Yeah, this trip to Utah was a little cold,
Mm,
but it was sunny. We haven't hit any rain, knock on wood. Very little snow. So the weather's been pretty nice. Coming back across the mountains now, we're at about 8,400 feet, I think, and it's cold.
mm.
Um, they're giving snow in the mountain passes tonight. So I think what we're going to do after we finish chatting with everybody is we're probably going to close this thing up real quick and get on the east side of the Rockies before we get snowed
Yeah,
in over here.
yeah. I don't blame you a bit. You know, one thing we talked about when you made that announcement at the beginning of the show about going full time is you'll actually get to take your time and see some
Yeah.
things and not have to rush or to get some videos out and get to some places and stuff like that. You recently posted that you did 2,500 miles in 21 days, and hopefully
Yes.
that's the last time you'll have to do that.
Yes. That was hopefully, but I've got to tell you that
We got another one
we
planned.
we may have exceeded that trying to get to Utah. We were in a bit of a rush to get to Utah, and we did 1,900 miles in
Yeah.
36 hours.
Oh wow!
On our way out here.
Yeah, that was not an overlanding trip at
No.
all. That was miserable. Yeah, and we do not want to do that again. But yeah, that 2,500 miles or so, um, I would like to turn that into 42 days instead of 21.
But we're
I
Mhm.
feel
doing
like
it
we
again.
missed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna do Montana this year.
Yeah.
Um, but we probably will not try to do that many miles. I want to slow down. We've got some great friends, Teddy and JoJo. I just seen pop up here.
Mm.
Matt and Don are going with us, and we're going to slow down and enjoy things a little bit more than we did.
Good.
Not that
Good.
we didn't. That was probably the best trip we've ever done.
Yeah.
But we really want to slow down some now.
Well, from your experiences, there's a lot of people that follow you. You've got a ton of YouTube followers, and out of all the places that you've been, uh, give me top 5 that people need to put on their bucket list. Overlanders that do not need to miss.
Wyoming is to me is
That
number one.
surprised us.
Mm,
That was totally not what we were expecting, but you can see every western state wrapped up in Wyoming.
mm,
We when we were there, we hit all four corners and crisscrossed the middle of it twice. And there is anything that you want to see is in Wyoming.
mm,
The for me, I love Utah. There's nothing like Utah
mm,
uh, as well. So that Utah would be another one for me. What about you?
mm.
I mean, I think everybody should experience the beach in North Carolina.
Yeah, Cape Lookout, North Carolina.
Mm,
That is
Sandstorm and all.
yeah.
once you're over there, you're there till the ferry comes back to get you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's
that
no escaping till they come get you.
there's no escape.
Right.
I think another one that really surprised me um, was Florida.
Really?
John Bartmeyer, those guys have done an incredible job with the Florida Adventure Trail, and it's nothing like anything else you'll ever see in any other part of the United States. So the fat is 1,200 or 1,400 miles of driving through Jurassic Park.
Hmm.
It's just crazy. So,
Wow.
and he's recently opened up the SOFAT, which is the Southern Florida Adventure Trail. Hello, Aspen.
Mm,
Um, and it is another 1,200 miles or so
Mhm.
that goes all the way down to the Keys. So
Hmm.
when we
Wow.
leave, the Save Expo, we're going to be heading on south and going to hit the SOFAT.
Wow.
So
And then back up to Jasper.
and then back up to the fine folks at Jasper.
Yeah.
But another
About an
bucket
hour
list
from me.
item, I guess I got one more, is Alaska.
Mm.
Uh, a lot of people think that is an unobtainable adventure,
Mm.
but if you book a flight and go up there, stay one night, and then get with Craig and Brooke at Alaska Overlander Rentals, uh, your rental for that vehicle is less than $300 a night. When
Wow.
we got our motel up there in Anchorage, it was over $400 a night. So, but that's your travel, that's your place to eat, that's your place to
Mm.
sleep. Um, and it's really not that expensive of a vacation. And the sights up there
Mhm.
are just
Yeah.
amazing too.
Mm.
So that's one I would say, check into it, because you're going to be surprised just
Mhm.
how inexpensive it is to do it.
There's a question asked: in your travels, what would you find to be your most accurate navigation device?
That's a good one.
We use Gaia
We we
primarily.
plan with everything.
Mhm.
Mm.
But when I'm traveling, I use Gaia. There's so
Mm.
many different layers that I can pop on and pop off. I know there's other ones that's big claim to fame as well. They have private lands. Well, Gaia's
Mhm.
got private lands. They
Mhm.
also have fire weather. So it has all the layers plus a whole lot more that I may want to look at, such as MVUM,
Mhm.
Forest Service attributes, things like that. Um, so we really like the detail in that. Some people just don't like that much detail, and that's fine. But when it comes to planning, I use everything. We use Trails Off Road a lot. We use on X quite a bit with planning. But all of my route stuff ends up on Gaia, and that's what I use while I'm moving.
I think you're probably in the majority there, um, especially with how affordable it is.
Yeah,
Everybody talks about how expensive it's gotten, but still, compared to everything else, it's still the most affordable thing out there to use.
yeah, I
Y'all,
agree.
y'all have steadily been putting out videos, and up to this point, you've had to balance personal life, work life, and YouTube life. How
Yeah.
hard is that to do? For those out there who are thinking that's something that they may want to do, put out more videos or something like that. How hard is that to do to balance?
It's tough. You've really got to want to do it. You've really got to enjoy it, and not just to enjoy parts of it. You've got to enjoy it all.
Mhm.
Just to put into perspective, Deb will shoot. I, I don't know
Yeah. I don't know. A lot.
for well, I can tell you in data, for every 20-minute video, we probably shoot somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 gigs of of video.
Wow.
So that
Mm.
just give you an idea of, I mean, you think about a 1 minute shot, and if you divide that shot up into 4 second clips, or that's 20 different shots for every minute of video that you produce.
Mm.
That's
It
funny.
takes it normally takes about 12 to 16 hours to put together a 20-minute video.
Wow.
So
And how many videos are you putting out a week?
we're doing one a week,
Mm.
and I got to tell you, it's a lot to try to do. Both of us work full-time jobs
Mm.
and put together. This week's ended up being a Monday video because we had so many other things going on that we just couldn't get it out on Sunday.
Mm.
So, but yeah, I mean, we love doing it. We love sharing our journeys, and that's why we started it. It had nothing to do with ever making any money or anything like that. I mean, when we started shooting YouTube videos, that was for our kids and our grandkids to be able to see what we were doing.
Mm. Yeah.
I didn't even know you could make money on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just been a way to chronicle our adventures, so we can look back and see what we've done, look and memories. The kids can see them, and we're just tickled to death that other people like to watch what we're doing and sharing those adventures with us.
Mm. To talk to me a little bit about just because I guess I don't know the circumstances surrounding it, but the accident that you had when somebody hit your trailer. How was
Yeah,
that?
so that it was just one of those freak things that happened. We were coming back from the Georgia Adventure Trail. Matter of fact, we were in a Teton X.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's the one that we have been using
yeah, it's the one that we've been
that you've
using.
seen on the last couple videos.
Mm-hmm.
So we come through a 90-degree turn right before we get to X Grid in Knoxville. And as we start through the curve, of course it's raining. I mean, Joe,
Yeah,
it's got to be raining.
gotta be right.
Um,
Yeah.
but as we start through this 90-degree turn, I look into the turn and I see a car coming at us running 40, 50 miles an hour. I mean, he was moving.
Mm.
Um, and I had enough time to realize that we were going to be hit. They was not going to slow down and make that curve. So I accelerated as fast as I could, but he ended up hitting us in the tire, glancing off the tire, and hit the trailer in the corner,
Mm.
the front driver's side corner of the trailer. And he hit us so hard that it broke the hitch off of the truck. It snapped where the ball goes through the receiver.
Yeah.
It snapped it like glass.
Wow.
So luckily, nobody was hurt. It totaled the Volvo that hit us, knocked every airbag out of it, pushed the engine and everything back into the to the passenger's compartment. So it was a big hit. Um, we moved the Gladiator. It bent the axle on the Gladiator, but we got it towed and moved out of the way. Jeremy Long from X Grid backed up to the trailer, and we got the trailer raised up, and he put it back on the hitch and drove it the rest of the way to the shop.
What did that tell you about that trailer?
That told me that trailer was a tank and it would be able to withstand anything that I was going to put it through.
Now, all we
Um,
saw, all we saw was pictures. We weren't there to see how
yeah,
hard the hit was, how fast the car was going, and so that's why I wanted you to tell us that story because we saw the pictures of the trailer, but we didn't see the accident happen. And
I
and that times like that will tell you how well something is made.
so they ended up bringing it back to St. George. They had to replace one of the bars to the tongue. Now, keep in mind that that frame is 2x5 box tubing. It's, I mean, it's heavy duty frame.
Hmm.
Um, they had to replace one of those arms. They had to replace the front wall because when he hit, he pushed a propane tank into the wall, but it
Mm.
didn't go through.
Yeah,
It
just cracked it.
just cracked it and pushed it back. So they replaced the front wall, they replaced the tongue, and then they took a ram and moved the corner back out the eighth of an inch that it was displaced. Put a gusset in it, put a wall back on it, and it was perfectly square.
Mm.
Had that been pretty much any other trailer that I have ever pulled or that I've seen, that guy would have went through that trailer.
Hmm.
And so this thing it's built to take anything that anybody can put it through.
They said they did more damage trying to fix it than they did what the wreck had caused because it was so hard to take it apart to fix what was broke.
Where
Wow.
everything was sealed
Yeah.
up, where the walls, down next
Yeah.
to the in the frame were
Mhm.
sealed and then sealed in the corners. They said they ended up having to replace the corner steel that ties the two walls together. They had to replace it because they actually damaged it trying to get the wall off of it.
That's not your normal RV.
No, no, not at
No,
all.
definitely not your normal RV.
So
Well, I don't want to keep y'all a whole lot longer because I know that you're wanting to get over those passes. But tell us where we can see you this year in 2025. What's your
this
schedule
year
like?
is this year is going to be crazy for us.
Yeah.
So we're going to spend a lot of times on the trails, but
Good.
that time on the trail is going to be in between a huge amount of shows. We're going to kick off with Save in Florida. After Florida, we're going to be going to the Jasper Jeep Jam.
Mhm.
And then from Jeep Jam, we will be doing More Expo. From More Expo, we'll be going to Trail Hero X out in Utah.
Mm.
We'll be leaving Utah or Trail Hero X going straight to Expo West. After Expo West, trying to think.
Yeah, I can't think.
We actually have June, we'll be going to PNW.
Mhm.
We'll be doing the Jeep Invasion, the Great Smoky Mountain Jeep Invasion in August. In September, we doing anything in September?
We have a Patreon.
We're doing our Patreon ride in September.
Isn't September?
Yes, it is
Yeah,
in
I can't
September.
remember.
October, we will be going
Days
to
that
October. We'll be going to Expo East.
Mhm.
June,
There's
we'll get with you on the Patreon. We've
Yeah.
got so many things. I
yeah.
just
Yeah.
about have to look at the
Yeah.
calendar. We're going to be busy, and we're going to hit
This is a Patreon ride, and then the other one we're going to do a
customer appreciation ride for the Atlas.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we will be at all the major events with the exception of SoCal and Mountain West.
Okay. And
So,
I also saw that you posted you're going to be in Tennessee next month at a camp out.
Oh, that's the Brushy Mountain. That one? No, Brushy.
It's
yeah.
at a prison or something like that.
Yeah, the
Brushy
prison.
Mountain. Yeah. We're trying to make that one. That one's going to be. It's kind of questionable because we may be going to pick up the prototype for the Appalachian X.
Ah.
So if we have to get out there to get that picked up, we may not be able to make that event.
No. Okay.
So the other event that we're probably going to try to be at is the Overland of America event.
Mm. That's a good one. Well, I hope
That was
I
the
know
September event that
that's
I
a
was missing.
September. Yeah. I know I'll see you at Jasper Jeep Jam. My wife and I are going to Oregon this summer, and we found out the place that we're staying in June is only 20 minutes from where Pacific Northwest is going to be. So hopefully we'll see you there. First time
we're
I've
looking
ever been
forward to
there.
it.
Never been there. That's going to be pretty cool. Well, I hope everybody gets on the Coddiwomple Overland YouTube channel, Instagram, and Facebook. Do you want to give a minute to give a shout out to your sponsors and say thank you to anybody at this time?
Yeah, I mean, thank you for that opportunity. We've worked with some great partners. Dan Cummins has been with us for years and years since we started. X-Grid Campers has been with us for a long time. And since we're going to be moving full-time to a single camper company, which is Atlas, and that's where our paycheck's going to come from, we're going to have to separate that partnership a little bit because we can't obviously we can't advertise a lot of other trailers when our focus is going to be the one that we really believe in, and that's the Atlas products. Can Cooker is a new sponsor that came on this year. We started using that thing at Expo East,
and it's just fun to use.
Deb loved it.
Yeah.
She cooks.
Dump everything in it. That's it.
It's like the Overland crock pot.
That's it.
Good baking and everything. You can make cupcakes and cakes and all kinds of stuff in it.
So Fritz and those guys at Iron Man Off Road, they make some awesome products. Aspen, he has his own Iron Man camp chair.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a camp chair for your dog, Iron Man's the place to go.
Oh, how cool!
And then Commonwealth, of course, Clay and those guys at Commonwealth 4x4 are awesome. They take care of the truck for maintenance and in between kind of things. And Wes has done an incredible job innovating cabinets inside and out of the Gladiators. So all those guys have been a lot of help to us, and we appreciate all of them.
Well, that is cool. Well, I just can't tell you enough how much I appreciate you taking time out in the middle of nowhere, Colorado. by some place that Deb don't even know where you're at, and
Yeah.
just talking to us and
We're in
videoing us.
Arizona.
She said Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were in Arizona.
I'll
Bill's like,
tell you,
"Oh, well."
I'll tell you who I appreciate the most, Joey, and that's all the people that have taken the time to hop on here and say hi to us and watch us and watch you and interact with us, and the time that they spend
You know, Patreon
watching our
too.
videos and our Patreons. We're not doing this for money, obviously, but
Jeff.
we're doing this to just get out here and enjoy life, and hopefully everybody else will follow suit. And if you can't, then hopefully you can get a little bit of reprieve and enjoyment by watching what we do. So that's why we do it.
Well, I love that you're able to do what you love to do, and it's a dream come true when you get paid to do what you love to do, and I'm so happy for you guys, and look forward to seeing what you put out in the future, especially to see if things change when you're able to slow down a little bit and do things a little bit different, maybe not 2,500 miles in 3 days or things
Right.
like that.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, maybe that'll be the only change. But hey,
Yeah,
we
maybe-
love. Go ahead.
Maybe we can do 3 miles in 25 days. I don't know.
Oh, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Well, hey, I appreciate y'all coming on here. Thank you for everybody who jumped on here to listen to us. We're going to let them jump off so they can beat the snow coming back home. And I know that they're itching to get over there and get their feet in that new Gladiator. And I think somebody posted on here they want to see Deb do a burnout. So that'd be a great video. We'd love to see that. All 4 tires, by the way. All four tires.
Yeah.
We love your videos. We can't wait to see what you put out. You are my wife's favorite YouTube personality, and I wouldn't wish that. I can't think of anybody I would rather her like more than you, Bill. Love you
Hey, I
guys,
appreciate
and
that.
wish you all the best.
That means a lot, Joe.
That voice.
Yeah.
You
All right. Well, everybody come and see us. Got a lot of events coming up this year. Come out, say hi to us, and we'd love to say hi and maybe spend a little time around the campfire with you.
Well, we appreciate you always. Y'all be safe, and for everybody's out there, hope you have a wonderful week. Get out, try something new, and whatever you do, look out for number 1. Don't step in number 2.